into it and stare at random enemies in the last level to find some kind of relevant observation. If anything about this game's story is lacking, is how it's swimming in an ocean of meaningful questions and points, but the actual plot blows past it all to be about terrorists who hate orgs and org lovers and the bad men who kidnapped your girlfriend. Let's take another look at some of Purity First's literature they leave strewn around the office they broke into. This stuff about physical limitations being human and not changing the body is just bullshit. These fuckers are against pacemakers. They don't have a valuable point to make here. And that's okay. Purity First are deliberately written and presented in the game as misguided radicals, which isn't necessarily a bad choice, but it does mean this group doesn't have anything interesting to say. The NSF are a great faction in the first game because their perspective is genuinely interesting, at least partially valid, and everything their leaders say is just fucking true. There's a reason every line this guy speaks is iconic. You switch sides and work with these guys partway through, and it works here because they were never presented as the dumbest boys in the world. But yeah, sure, hearing aids are immoral. Nice one, buddy. Say hi to Ted in prison for me. But here's the real shitter, right? In between these two statements is a really interesting one. This one actually reaches for an important point. It comes close to saying what a lot of people say right now about modern technology, like electric cars or self-driving cars or space rockets. Namely that even if they work, they're not the thing humanity needs right now. And wasting resources on them at a time like this while so many real problems go unsolved is a tragedy history won't look back on kindly, if there even are any historians left in 50 years. Purity First could easily have been written as a principled faction and represented a tangible perspective, but instead any of their justifiable motivations are relegated to the back page of a PDF and they're shooting people for calling them racist. You could have, for example, made them a group with a cohesive ideology. Like, what if they were anti-augmentation specifically because they saw the impact it would have on working people who couldn't afford them, or who would be expected to get them to keep their jobs? What if they weren't even anti-augmentation per se, and this break-in was a cover to steal for people who need access to augmentations but can't afford them? Zeke Sanders is established as a veteran. He belongs to a group that maybe could do with access to replacement limbs. There were so many compelling ways of writing this group, but instead they went with the Nazi sash-wearing purity terrorist gang.
He thinks we're breaking the law. Shut up! All you body polluters break laws. You're all the same.
I don't like augmentations because I'm the bad guy. Ah! Even though there's plenty room to discuss augmentation in a nuanced way, it's instead often used as a stand-in for other real-world issues. There's newspaper articles about how an augmented black woman has had to deal with bigotry, not just for her race, but now also for being augmented. First racism, and now robot arms. People are coming up with special new slurs for augmented people. Mechs, clanks, cogs, chrome boy. Chrome boy?
Chrome boy.
Chrome boy. Hansers? They put more